Hey Delta, what is meant by shore fishing?
Shore fishing is about the easiest type of fishing to define. Fishing from shore means you are standing on some sort of dry land, beach, pier, bridge, mangroves, whatever. If you are standing or sitting on land to fish, you are shore fishing. Okay, just to complicate things a bit, some people would consider wade fishing as shore fishing too.
Count me among those people, and I would throw surf casting under the heading as well. However, those last two do not really come into play in the Delta. Though the Delta is a tidal body of water, it is rare to encounter surf per se. And wading falls under the category of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Between ever-changing creek channels, debris in the water, cottonmouths, copperheads, needle-nose gar, alligator gar, and just straight-up alligators, it is not in one's best interest to wade in the Delta. So for our purposes today, we're going to concentrate on just landlocked forms of fishing, particularly banks and piers. In this episode, we'll feature some of the places in Mobile County, and in a future show, we'll tackle Baldwin County. Let's hit the proverbial trail. Our first stop is in Chickasaw, Williams Brooks Park. We visited here recently, so check the description below for a link to that more comprehensive video about this location. In the waters of Chickasaw Creek, you'll find gators, grass and glass shrimp, largemouth bass, various sunfish like brim, shellcracker, crappie, both alligator and needle-nosed gar, catfish, mullet, blue crabs, and bowfin, also known as grinnell. The grinnell is an interesting critter. The best description I've found comes from Mark Spencer of ArkansasWild.com. He says, grinnell are a prehistoric, boneheaded, air-breathing, ely-finned, monster-fanged fossil fish dating back to the Jurassic period that fishermen love to hate. Beautiful little stretch of the Delta here. Saraland is probably the largest of the cities in what's known as North Mobile because of their location north of the city of Mobile. Of those, it's Pritchard, Chickasaw, Saraland, Satsuma. Saraland is by far the largest and the fastest growing. All right, today we are at William V. Coalfield Park in Saraland, Alabama. This part of the Delta is called Bayou Sara, where Saraland gets its name. It's from Bayou Sara. Kind of going after two species today, one in particular, and a couple that are secondary. Main thing I'm going fish for today is grinnell, also popularly known as bowfish. And I got two lines set up for that. I got one running out this way. That's actually got catfish bait on it, a little power bait. So the grinnell in this area are really good at hitting anything a catfish will hit, so I got that out. Plus, there's catfish around. I know what I'm having for dinner. The one in the stand there, that actually has a piece of smoked ham on it that's just about to go bad. So we'll see if we can't pick something up on that. And then I'm just fishing a little jig on here for bass just to give me something to do until something hits that. So if I catch a bass, that's great. Oh. And something there nibbling. And it's not unheard for the grinnell to hit these bass lures either. Here's you an idea when I'm chunking out here for the bass. This little jig with a little what's left of an old plastic salamander on there. Because of the rainfall down here, the city of Mobile receives more rainfall annually than any other city in the 48 contiguous. A lot of people think that it's Seattle or Portland, but honestly, they're not even close. I believe Mobile right now is averaging about
65, 66 inches of rain a year, whereas Seattle usually closer to about 35. As you can clearly see, this part of the Delta is is very residential. There are a lot of beautiful homes, and I think even one apartment complex here in Saraland right on Bayou Sara. So, it's not like some of your national parks. There are homes that butt right up against this wild space. It's just fantastic.
The city of Saraland is perfectly nestled in North Mobile County alongside the beautiful Mobile-Tensaw Delta. The city is drained by Bayou Sara, an east-flowing tributary to the Mobile River. The natural resources, city services, and great location of this community are quite impressive. In 1960, the population was just shy of 5,000 people, but currently it is home to more than 16,000. Today, the city is experiencing phenomenal growth with the construction of new subdivisions and new commercial and retail development. But it wasn't always the gateway to progress that it is now.
The city of Saraland kind of got off to a dubious beginnings. When it was unincorporated, a group of local good old boys got together and started talking, because one of them had found out that if an unincorporated area incorporates and becomes a city, the people who run the city can get filthy rich taking bribes for things like sanitation, water service, and all of that. So the whole reason the town is a town is because some good old boys wanted to get rich breaking the law. See, when you have that kind of greed and those kind of ethics involved, pretty soon the conspirators start infighting, biting against one another, and that's what happened in the case of Saraland's founding fathers. The mayor wanted to cut the chief of police out, and the chief of police wanted to be the new mayor. So one night the chief of police was sitting outside the mayor's office waiting for him to get out, because he's going to shoot him, kill him, assassinate him. And it didn't work out though, because the hired killer that the mayor had hired to take out the chief of police got there first. And my father was a deputy sheriff and worked part of this case. He took the deathbed confession from the hired killer who was hired to kill the original hired killer who killed the chief of police. Southern towns, you gotta love them.
Third is another familiar place, Satsuma's Steel Creek Landing. Again, there's a link below. Steel Creek Lodge is a beautiful waterfront lodge and park located right on the Delta in Satsuma, Alabama. On the grounds you will find a boat launch, a small fenced-in playground area, a frisbee golf course, piers for fishing, and several picnic tables with grills. It is secluded for maximum privacy, yet it is easily accessible from Highway 43 and Interstate 65. The lodge is operated by the City of Satsuma. For more information, visit cityofsatsuma.com. The next stop on our journey is River Delta Marina and Campground in Creola, Alabama. We recently visited River Delta Marina and Campground in Creola. For more on Dead Lake, check the link below, but here's an excerpt from that episode.
I've just always loved the simplicity of a brim pole and a can of worms. You know, it is the most fundamental, simplistic, primitive form of fishing. And I just love it. Don't get me wrong. I love to chunk a frog or a spinnerbait or bounce a jig off the bottom of a lake, but I don't know. There's just something so primal. I guess it just takes me back to when I was younger, when I was a kid growing up and learning how to fish. And you know what? It usually works. And I thought the point of getting on the water was to catch fish. So one of the things that I really like about this location is this fantastic fish cleaning station. I mean, as soon as you come off the water, roll right on over here with your catch. You got cover over your head in case it's raining, water to wash everything off with, even lights in case you come in right as the sun's going down.
Mount Vernon is a town just north of North Mobile. It incorporated in 1959, and the 2020 census listed the population as 1,354. But Mount Vernon hosts our last two featured spots. The Upper Delta Wildlife Management Area, situated right on the western bank of the Mobile River, is a magnificent boat launch and provides some decent shore fishing as well. Target species here would be big river fish like channel and blue catfish, as well as bowfin. Note, there are advisories about eating fish from this particular section of the Mobile River because of its proximity to a number of industrial facilities, so it's perfect for catch and release. The second is quaint, hidden Cedar Creek Landing. This is a privately owned landing, so there is a fee to fish from the bank or to launch a boat. If you're bank fishing Cedar Creek, your best bet will be to go for panfish like brim or shellcracker. Largemouth bass can also be found here, but there is one fish above all else that anglers seek whenever they're on Cedar Creek: white perch. Cedar Creek Landing at first seems a little hard to find. If you try and look for it on a map, you're not going to have a whole lot of success. But what you will find is Cedar Creek Landing Road, and that should kind of give you a hint as to where it is. Just get on Cedar Creek Landing Road and drive till you get to water. But something you will find on a map on Cedar Creek is a little icon that says Cedar Creek Falls. This would be the only waterfall in South Alabama, the only one in Mobile County, clearly the only one in the Delta. I have not seen it myself. There are no pictures, there's no video, but I understand it's there and it's real. It's just part of private hunting camp. You really can't get to it. On a personal note, I have been shore fishing my entire life. The first bass I ever caught by myself, I was on a pier, my grandfather's farm pond. The 2 largest bass I've ever caught in my life, I was fishing from the shore. So you'll see me do a lot of shore fishing just because I'm very comfortable with it. I grew up with it. But it's also just a great, quick little escape. If you just need a little bit of nature, you don't have to go through the trouble of getting out of the boat, or even as easy as a kayak is. Just go down there, take one rod and reel, start chunking, and let your cares float away. I have a little bonus suggestion for you. Battleship Park has a pier, so if you pay the $5 entrance fee to park, you can also use the fishing pier free of charge. Also, there's a good deal of free bank fishing up and down Battleship Parkway, or the Causeway as we call it. Because of its location precisely where the Delta meets Mobile Bay, when shore fishing from the Causeway, you can expect to pick up a few more saltwater species like flounder, redfish, croaker, and sheepshead, in addition to the usual freshwater species found throughout the rest of the Delta.
Are y'all still here? Click like and subscribe on your way out, would you?